Hi, I'm Jordan from Kettner Creative. In this video, I want to show you 4 different ways to connect your audio mixer to your iPad. Now, depending on what version of iPad you use, you'll either need this lightning to camera adapter, is what Apple calls it, or a USB-C multi-adapter. If your iPad has a lightning output, so any standard iPad, you'll need this. It basically goes from lightning to USB. If you have an iPad Pro that has USB-C on the bottom, then you can use this. It goes USB-C, and then it has a whole bunch of different options, USB, HDMI, and you can power it through the same adapter as well. If you want pricing or specs for either of these options, we do have some links in the description below this video. Since I have the standard iPad model here, I'm going to use the Lightning to USB adapter. So I'll plug that in. Right now on my iPad, I just have GarageBand open. So the first solution that I'm going to show you today relies on this USB sound card here. I don't love these things, but they do exist and a lot of people are okay with using them. So I'm going to show you how it works and you can be the judge of whether or not you want to use this for your solution. Personally, I wouldn't. I'll use one of the later solutions that I'll show you near the end. So you can plug this into the USB on your iPad and you'll get a pop-up here that says that your audio device is connected. And then from there, we have 2 options. So the first option, if your mixer has RCA output, is to use a cable like this. This will go from stereo RCA. You can plug this into the outputs of your mixer, and it goes to an 1/8" or 3.5mm jack that you can plug into the red microphone input on this USB sound card. Now, the audio mixer that I have connected here only has XLR and 1/4" outputs, but I did find an older version of this mixer, and you can plug these into the record out of that mixer, and that will give you an audio signal to your iPad. The next option that I want to show you is very similar to the RCA cable I just showed you, and it still relies on this USB sound card, which I don't love, but this option does exist, so I'll show you how it works. Basically, it goes from stereo 1/4" cables, left and right, to the same 3.5mm or 1/8" jack. So you plug these stereo 1/4" cables, make sure the red one is on the right channel, and then you plug the 1/8" jack into your USB sound card in the red input for the microphone, and that will give you audio input into your mixer as well. The next option that I'm going to show you is my favorite options out of all these. It's the most simple, and that's to buy a USB audio mixer in the first place. Now, a USB audio mixer will have a USB jack on the back of the mixer, so you can just connect that straight to this adapter that we have plugged into the iPad. So I have one of those cables here. I'll just plug this into the back of the audio mixer, plug this into our GarageBand iPad setup, and it'll detect the device. And that's how that works. So it's super straightforward. Now everything in your audio mixer will kick out through the stereo outputs, and a copy of that stereo output will go through USB into your iPad for recording. Now the other option I want to show you is similar to this. It's just a little bit more complicated in terms of getting your power and everything organized. And that is to connect a USB audio interface like this one to your iPad. Now the problem with this solution is that most USB audio interfaces are not wall powered. They rely on that bus power coming from a computer. So to solve that, I'll show you what we need to do. We need one of these. This is a powered USB hub or powered USB bus, and you'll know it's self-powered because it has its own power input on the back that you plug straight into the wall. This cannot rely on being bus powered from the iPad. So what that means is one power input will go into the back, and that gets plugged into the wall, and the USB cable that comes out of the back of this will get plugged into the iPad. So we do that here. And then we'll use a USB cable now to connect the back of our USB audio interface. That will go into the USB hub. And you'll see that the light turns on. Now that light, if we try to plug this USB audio interface straight into a USB input on this iPad, you'll see that that light does not light up. It does not get the power that is required. That's why we have to use this powered USB hub. The good thing is that these are quite inexpensive if you just go on Amazon. There's tons of different options there. We have some links in the description below. So once we have this unit powered up, then we need to connect it to our audio mixer. So to do that, I just need to grab a couple XLR cables. Now this does have 1/4-inch inputs on the front as well, so this will work with either mixer with XLR outputs or 1/4-inch outputs. So we'll plug the first channel in, plug that into the USB audio interface, plug the next channel in, and plug that into the USB audio interface. Once you're done all that, then you just adjust your volumes on the USB audio interface and you're ready to go. So there you have 4 different solutions. You have the USB sound card with RCA or the USB sound card with 1/4-inch. You have using a USB audio mixer, or you have using the XLR outputs or 1/4-inch outputs on that mixer and running them through a USB interface. So all these different options are viable. I do not like using these USB sound cards. I don't think the quality is good, and they're generally made by no-name brand companies, so the quality does change on a batch-by-batch basis. But if you want to risk it, this is definitely the cheapest option. Otherwise, I prefer the USB audio mixer. I think it's the cleanest solution out there. And the USB audio interface, you might already have one of these kicking around, so it makes it really easy to connect to any audio mixer. Now again, we do have links for pricing and availability for anything that you've seen in this video in the description below, so be sure to check that out. If you have any questions or comments, please leave it in the comment section below. And if you want to see more videos like this in the future, please like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching.